The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends. The S&P up about 17.5 points on the S&P cash, just under a tick under 1950 on the S&P cash. Volume is average for a Friday afternoon going into a weekend at 2 billion shares on the consolidated New York Stock Exchange tape. That is every share, no matter where it's traded on the NYSE, plus all those shares on that thing they call the American Exchange, which, is it really an exchange? Is it just like a bathroom of the NYSE or garage out back? Hard to know. Anyway, I guess there's still American Stock Exchange listed stocks, but I don't pay much attention anymore. The outhouse, the boathouse, somewhere in a house, I think, are all those stocks. I guess it's one step from going to the curb, as they used to say. Anyway, we've got a very interesting day going into this weekend, and why don't we just get to start this party started a little earlier without me rambling just so much to begin with.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1690, the first American newspaper opens up. Public occurrences, both foreign and domestic. It appears in Boston. Unfortunately, it is also the last issue, as the British colonial authorities immediately shut the paper down under standing orders to squelch a free press. And, of course, not much different today. There's basically anything you say in England can be considered hate speech if they don't like it, and they use that form of tyranny yet today. And while I am still more than willing to throw tea at those, they're not bad guys. They just don't understand freedom, I think, are confused about it. They still worship a king and a queen. What year is this? Anyway, they'll wake up eventually, I think. But the first thing they ought to do is get a little bit of freedom of speech. The ability to label anything hate speech and wipe it out or put you in jail seems to me draconian. But what else can you say? You watch Game of Thrones, that's probably putting you in a jail in England is probably a whole lot less than all the horrible things they do to people on that show. And I think that's all supposed to be England, some kind of fever dream, isn't it? Now, I've digressed enough. Time to go on to real stuff. And, where is it at? That's it. I put something else up here. I guess it's not here. We'll pop up a chart. The only thing I can say about today is one of these days that people in the media literally hate. And when I'm talking about people in the media, I'm talking about PR people and probably Apple, in that if you've turned the TV on at all today, it's been, especially for financial press, it's been nothing but a one-stop shop of putting the camera on somebody that's talking, whether it's the Pope or the president of China or the president of a dog food company. It's everybody has been in front of this TV, and very little news out here is actually making it out. They call that soaking up all the oxygen in the room. Everybody's talking about Donald Trump or something for the last few weeks in the normal press. But in the financial press, it's been everything but finance. And my guess is these guys are just gone lazy and found an easy way to turn a camera on at somebody and hope that they watch. But it's not been a lot of financial reporting out there. And maybe now that all that's over, I thought maybe Apple could catch a break out here, but not really. I mean, it's flat. Maybe the PR engine for them is going to start on Monday or maybe even tomorrow in the financial sector, probably on Monday. They'll probably come out and say that they sold out of everything. But I suspect that whoever signed up this date, normally it's on Tuesday when they roll these things out. I think whoever set this date up is probably getting fired at Apple because they don't like sharing the stage with anybody, and very sedate out here. It is very tough out here to figure that out. Now, there are a few slight news items out here, but not really moving the U.S. stock market so much. Probably my guess is that when the Taiwanese stock market opens up on Monday, it will open down. And why is that? That's because the president threw basically the Tibetans and the Taiwanese under the all one China policy, basically saying that, yeah, we consider it yours. And I tell you what, the last thing I think you want to be is a friend of the United States, because we're throwing more and more of those folks under the bus as fast as we can. And that's it. But look to Taiwan, not a huge move out here, but Taiwan maybe seeing a little action out here. The problem would be if China did take over Taiwan, then they would get all the data and all the work that we did in semiconductors that's based in Taiwan. They'd get that for free. They'd know it all, and they'd start their own businesses and try to circumvent companies like Intel, who has lots of stuff there. A lot of other companies do too, Global Foundries. Most of that work that is technical, very technical in nature, the highest level of technology, processors and chips is made and are made in Taiwan. But that one sentence there, we've kind of danced around it for a long time with the U.S. foreign policy, but that speech where I believe in a one China is probably enough to send chills down the spine of everybody that thought that they were Taiwanese and lived in Taiwan, because that kind of just basically saying, hey, we're not going to, we really don't believe in you being a separate country, so China, have at it. I think they want to get Taiwan intact, so they're probably not going to attack it. But I would feel very, very threatened today if I lived in in Taiwan. Of course, we've, I guess, thrown the people in Tibet under the bus a long time ago. They can't do anything to help us. We're not really in our foreign and national, what do they say, a foreign interest of the United States. Taiwan certainly is, with the straits of between them and China. And I know we've been sending more arms to China, like our F-16s and stuff like that, in the past. Not a lot has happened in the lately. So maybe we'll see a lot more about that. But I think there's a couple of companies that are public that do trade here in the United States. But I would be watching Monday to see whether or not there's any ramifications of that. It was new to me, and as far as I could tell, new to many people watching. Of course, they had some discussions about what was going to be acceptable in cyber espionage, and whether or not we can give that kind of data to our own companies and companies in China. I don't know if that was just wishful thinking, or if he really thinks, or the president thinks, that China will back off cyber espionage, because about 90% of what they're doing has to do with stealing trade secrets and giving it to their own countrymen to exploit. I don't know if maybe the last couple of months of the China stock market going down has changed that, if we've been able to put any pressure on it. I don't think the Chinese really believe a lot about what they write down. So I don't know. Anyway, just some random thoughts out here. You can always email me at path@tfnn.com. You can call me at 877-927-6648. And, of course, you can post a message in the den. Anyway, we're up kind of hanging around these. Oh, came off about 5 points real quick on the S&P cash. 1945. That's not bad. Don't know if anything actually happened. No, words must be followed by actions. Maybe that people didn't like that. But that's it. Anyway, I guess we probably need to get into charts here fairly early. Volume was light. We had a bounce in this market. I suspect that Friday, you've got kind of a buyer strike out here. Markets are up a bit, but still seeing a lot of stocks go out and test previous lows on lighter volumes. So let's get back into that today. Of course, probably the weakest sector today looks to me like they're trying to route out the IBB. It's off 12 points again today, which is about 4%. Volume is not that big, though. Let's take a quick look at that. IBB. And kind of pushing it down. But even yesterday, we had 4.2 million shares today, just 2.6 million shares so far. Maybe we'll get that if they continue to route. Seeing a few of these stocks that they are pushing down. But again, not a lot of volume going into the weekend here. But seeing a lot of stocks in that sector getting a little bit, not a lot of love, let's put it that way. So let's take a look at it as we go into the weekend. Let's see what else is out here. JP Morgan Alarian MLP Index, AMG. This is, yeah, we talked about this yesterday? I don't think so. August 24th, 5.6 million shares, $31.35. Pierced it yesterday with 3.5 million shares back into the trading range today. Energy coming back off the August 31st high in this is fairly low. So we're, I think, trying to beat out a bottom in this market, but we shall see. I have a feeling a lot of people are getting ready to go short into this weekend, and maybe we'll see our next gap up come Monday morning if they don't prevail. What else do we have out here? Arena Pharmaceuticals. I was looking at some of these and seeing whether there's any volume in it. There's certainly not going into Friday out here. Just looks to me like a lot of people not buying and a few people selling. But the September 1st low in Arena Pharmaceuticals was $2.54, 4.2 million shares. We're breaking that today with 1.3 million shares so far. Avon Products, this thing has been on the stairs down. But certainly not finding any kind of volume. 46 million shares that we saw on the 11th of September. Hopefully you can hear all those booms and thunder booms. If I lose you, it's because of the thunderstorm. Some big ticks down. We'll see what happens here by the end of the day. Don't know if anything's happening. Some China talk happening right now. Maybe that was it. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crisp crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we're back. We'll take a look at this. Anyway, Avon Products, I think, did we handle this? Anyway, again, light volume, kind of a very interesting movement out here. Looks like a lot of people probably sneaking out before the weekend's over. We're at now 1940, so we had a quick 10-point move, 2.14 billion shares on the day. September 11th. $3.31, 46 million shares yesterday, 8.5 million shares today, 3.6. So some of these are finding support. And I wonder if this has anything to do with the China visit, but we're also seeing a little lighter volume in some of these stocks that have been beaten above the head and shoulders. $58 on August 24, 31 million shares. We got in it, almost pierced it yesterday. We still need 21 cents lower to test it. That's the September 24th low from yesterday, 20 million shares. So about 10 million shares lighter, 11, maybe 12 million shares out here today. So we'll take a look at that. BBT, the banking company, we brought this one up a bit. 10 million shares on August 24th for its low. Now, we have tested this one. Yesterday, it did close back into the trading range, and today it did pop. Not a lot of volume, but I'm not expecting a lot of volume for about 3 days if we are going higher. Normally, it takes a couple of days to get out of these. And also, there's several things that are going to happen over the next few days. One, we've got fund buying coming up next week. Two, on the 1st, we should be through the warning part of earnings season. If someone was going to warn, about 80% of them should be over by the 1st of October or later. What is the date on here? Yeah. Well, I guess we've got a couple more days. So anyway, once we get through about the 29th and 30th, the early warnings out of these companies, if they were really totally going to kiss a frog when it comes on that stuff. It's going to be a lot. Anyway, BB&T, nice bounce out here today. Not a lot of volume. Probably get a little pullback on that one. If the volume is light, you may have at least that one off the bottom. And in banks, maybe interest rates are going up, and maybe we're going to see a little movement in those. What else do we have out here? BCX, BlackRock Resources, BCX. Another one out here that's kind of kissing the lows with a light volume. August 26th, we saw the low at 726. A million shares was the high going into those lows. We got down to 713 yesterday, closed back above it. Volume again is light today, 136,000 shares so far, going up against that million shares. So not a lot. Now, could we get a deer or a cat blow through the lows even with these light volumes? I guess you can, but at the in a nice pullback here as we go into the weekend. Anyway, more light volume, Belden BDC. Again, fairly light volume out here. 510,000 shares as of September 4th. Yesterday we had 340,000 shares. Today, 137,000 shares. So it's going to, volume is going to be light, fairly, it's going to have a lot of volume actually to get volume up any higher out here. Boot Barn Holdings, what else do we have out here? Cambium Networks. Wanted to look at this one and see how it did. CIT Group, the low of August 24th, $41.06. 3.5 million shares yesterday. 1.4 million shares went below it, closed back above it, and we're still back in the trading range on this. We'd need to see a lot of these close back under to really say that a lot of these things haven't been out here. Energy sector, the same thing. In fact, I was looking just before the show and saw the oil rig count out here. The oil rig count, after having a little bounce out here, is now in the 4th straight week. Down by 4 to 640 drillers, which I thought was kind of interesting. Cloud Peak Energy, one of these going after its August 6th low at $2.51 with 4.6 million shares. What did we get yesterday? 1.6 million shares today, down with 1 million shares. You still want to see this thing close above 251 to keep it in the trading range. What do we have out here? Up 4.5 points on the S&P cash, 2.2 billion shares as we go to commercial. And we will be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. Anyway, I wanted to look at a few other stocks out here that going into the weekend, we're going to have fairly light volume into these lows. Clean Harbors, CLH, July 27th, $45.69, set the high volume low. Tried to get into it with 700,000 shares of August 24th at 45.45. And we got back in here again with 400,000 shares yesterday, 250,000 today, still kind of into those lows, but haven't broken them. Cree, we talked about this one yesterday, and of course, it's been beaten since about $65. Kind of like this one out here at 3 million shares for the first high. That's the July 7th high, or $32, even. I've got to back up here. 23,000. I'm having a brain aneurysm, I think. $23.63. Of course, we get the huge plug down on and huge candle of the 12th of August. And that set the low with 7.3 million shares. Anyway, we're back into that today with 1.5 million shares. What else can you see? CSC, Computer Sciences Corporation. And that is $58.77 of the August 24th low. We saw 1.7 million shares then. $59.09. And, I really like to see this one test the low of 58.77. But 700,000 less shares, do you get that? Not all the time. Light volume today, 272,000 shares. So not a sign of strength off the bottom. But like I said, I suspect if you're going to get a sign of strength off these bottoms with incredibly light volume, that's going to come next week. We just need a couple more days to get past any of the announcements of stocks that are already know that they're not going to make estimates. And then you get in also to fund buying, which is going to be a small positive this month compared to the other months, according to Trim Tabs. 860,000 shares on Diebold. This one has not been a stellar performer. August 26th saw its maximum low, but you had basically the 862,000 shares as the maximum in that 3-day period there. I use the highest volume within 0.5% of the absolute low. We got back into that with 230,000 shares, bounced a little today, given a little bit back on 166. So what anybody's saying, a lot of these stocks have incredibly light volume compared to these previous lows. And even if you're bearish, you'd think that these things probably bounce a little bit and then come back down with higher volume maybe in a few weeks, months. I don't know. I think you get maybe 2 months out of it. August 24th, $89.37. What do we have out here? 960,000 shares, 740,000 shares 3 days ago. So that wasn't that much lighter volume at Dillard's. Retail still not looking that good. Emerging markets. This did get back into the candle of the 24th with, what was that? 1.3 million shares, $32.78. We went a penny below that, just a penny yesterday. 1.3 million shares to 500,000 shares. Not much of a bounce on volume today, but tell you what, yesterday they had every opportunity to throw everything against it, and you got, 800,000 shares light. Nice little bounce out here today in the emerging markets. Expatrial, is that Expetrol? Nice little bounce. Now, this one a little more attractive to me in the August 24th low, 1.8 million shares at $8.65 when we see that tested yesterday by 670,000 shares. So a little bounce out of here. One of the things I kind of liked is the energy's not all that exciting from this September 17th high. Was a little bit more, so I didn't buy it. But very interesting nonetheless. Another nice little pop in some of these ETFs is the EFA ETF. 62 million shares August 24th, $56.51. We got into that yesterday with 23 million shares. So I'm starting to think that maybe we're forming a bottom in these emerging markets. We talked about last week how it looked to me as China was starting to buy crude. And the question is, are they just filling up the strategic petroleum reserve, or do they think this is extra good prices and just buying out here? We haven't tested the low in Midstream Partners, ENLK. That saw the August 24th low at 1 million shares at $15.32. Got within 18 cents of it yesterday, but again, 400,000 shares short, a little pop. Few of these out here look like they're starting and wanting to fill in the lows of the day out here. We're up 3 points now on the S&P cash, 2.28 billion shares. And what else do we have? We're going back into the in-phase energy, ENPH, August 24th, $3.90, 1.6 million shares. Went underneath it, $3.76, 850,000 shares. That's about half of the volume. Pop back up. Need to close above 390 on this one. I don't know much about this stock. Let me take a quick look at it. Designs, develops, and sells microinverter systems for solar power. Okay, that makes sense out here. EPD, Enterprise Products. We've got three lower volume lows in this one. August 6th, 8.5 million shares at 24.69, 7.5 million shares on August 24th, and through 5.9 million shares yesterday. This one popped back into the trading range yesterday, pulling back a little bit, but 2.6 million shares as we go through the day. We're just going to go through these as fast as we can, unless you give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. You can also send me an email at path@tfnn.com or post a message in the den. Anyway, EWQ. Now, we had $23.83 in this one. That was on the 21st, so you didn't get that on the 24th like most. We're kind of back into this now. We went below it last 3 days, 477,000, 667,000, 1.2 million shares yesterday. So volume did pick up, but still way below that 3.3 million share low back then. And this is the France index. Yeah, back in the trading range today. Not a lot of volume out here, but we'll continue to keep an eye on some of these. Let's go to these. We talked about this one yesterday a little while. I like to watch it, not to trade it, but as a canary in the coal mine trade. And Fastenal makes nuts and bolts, and well, they don't really make them. They just buy them and sell them. Gives you a little idea about what's going on. I expected that maybe the news, economic news out this morning would probably be a little bit better than most thought, mostly because it looked like Fastenal had made some kind of decent low. $36.73, 6.2 million shares. Went in and under that on 1.9 million shares yesterday. Kind of came in the trading range. You still want to close above $36.73 today. It's a little below that. And maybe if the prevailing winds continue to push down on this market, we're flat now on the S&P cash. That may tell us a lot. FFIV. When we have this one in nice couple 3 days in a market that's been rather rough. August 24th, 112.43, 1.9 million shares, 1.1 million shares 4 days ago. So 1.9 to 1.1 the last 3 days, 700,000 shares today, 1.2 million shares yesterday, 1.2 million shares today, 737,000 shares. And we're into Federated Investors. These are a chain of retail clothing, if you're not familiar with it. That is the 1 million shares on August 24th, $29.08. 540,000 shares yesterday, back into the trading range and still into it today. FII. What do we have in here? Fluor. We talked about this one yesterday. It looked like it wanted to close in, still is, but boy, talk about vapor for volume today. August 24th, $41.88, 2.6 million shares, 1.5 million shares as it broke that low yesterday. Back up today in that trading range, 735,000 shares. Fossil, the watchmaker, of course, ever since the iWatch came out, these guys have been under major strain. I tried to short them a couple times, never did get it right. Been kind of thinking that maybe this one has found some temporary low. The August 12th low, $56.96, 6.3 million shares, 2.1 million shares on August 21st. Pierced that popped back into the trading range. You had a long, slow consolidation back in and below those lows. I don't think you're going to close above that major high volume low at 56.69, which is what you need. But volume 829,000 shares yesterday, 263,000 shares today. So certainly not a lot of impact going into this weekend. Our companies, GBX. We've got a lot of stocks in here today, don't we? We've got $33.10 on the green bar companies. GBX is the symbol if you're not familiar with this company. In at 1 million shares on August 24th, and pierced it by $1 yesterday, $1.10, and it closed back above that 33.10, which is what you'd need. It would have to close about 80 cents higher than it is now. Volume is light and continues light at 440,000 shares. Gulfport Energy, another one out here that's in the energy sector, trying to make a low. If we use the low from August 24th, $31.30, 3.1 million shares. Tried to get into it, but didn't pierce again on 2 million shares. So you'd like it to have pierced it. It did 2 days ago with 1 million shares. Yesterday with 1.9 million shares. Today just 656,000 shares. Needed to close above 31.30, and probably a little shy of that. Garmin out here, the GPS manufacturer, $35.35 on it on 4.5 million shares. Now that goes on the August 24th low. We got to $35 on 1 million shares yesterday. Right now we're what, 35.58. So if we close back above that low, that would be put it on a buy signal finally. Hillrom covers. This is one of the few stocks that I saw that actually was at a high with a light volume. And what's the profile on this one? Let's find it real quick. Medical technology company worldwide, North American surgical and respiratory care. Anyway, this one was one of the few ones. June 17th, $57.95, 2.1 million shares. Got into that on the 21st with 1.1 million shares. Now this one's down. Not a lot of volume so far today, but if you were looking for shorts, that one would have been one that I would have looked at. Intelsat, of course, the company that makes the phones that can talk anywhere on the world to a orbit of satellites that are constantly going overhead. $5.70, what was it? $7.56. Got dyslexia today. Dyslexia. Can't even say that. $7.56. 90, is that right? Yeah. A lot of shares. 900,000 shares. July 24th. This thing took off with a sign of strength. It's back in and filled those lows. 3 days ago, 525,000, 300,000 yesterday, and today 135,000 shares. So certainly not pounding these lows with a low volume, but we can see. Well, we're off 3 points on the S&P cash now. So just wait 5 minutes and the entire market will turn for you. What do we have out here? August 24th on the IEFA. August 24th, 4.3 million shares. Got into it. Haven't pierced. Yeah, we did pierce it yesterday. 1.9 million shares popped back in the trading range. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Well, as I grew up in the Midwest, they always said just wait for 5 minutes and the weather will change. The market, pretty much the same thing out here. I continue to see a ton of stocks without a lot of volume. Some of these have popped back in to the trading range, so we'll look at a few of these. The energy sector out here, probably the most interesting to me, as I can't find anybody that thinks it's going higher, which makes me think it's going higher. The IYE out here, you know, we've had a nice gap up with some volume, and that goes back to the 27th of September, or excuse me, of August. And that had 3.45 million shares. Just as we tipped back into that gap yesterday, just 719,000 shares. Today we're down back into that gap with 291,000 shares. So a lot of volumes, very, very light as we come back into these. Some of them have popped back into the trading ranges, as they should on price and volume. August 25th, $12.67 23 million shares, 14 million shares yesterday as it did pierce it by 2 cents. It popped back into the trading range. Light of volume. I don't know what this company does either, so let's check that out real quick. KeyCorp, bank holding company for KeyBank. Maybe everybody does think interest rates are going higher. Just a thought. Leapfrog. What else do we have out here? Mankind. This one's been beaten fairly badly. Wanted to see how this one was doing. $3.25 for the August 26th low. 7.1 million shares got into it. Did pierce it yesterday by a nickel. 4.8 million shares yesterday. 3.8 million shares back into the trading range. A little pullback today. 1.75 million shares. So maybe one more test of the lows on some of these. But certainly seeing that. So what, we off 3 points on the S&P cash now, 2.45 billion shares. So it's going to be a very interesting close today. MRC Global, it could be an ABC up, but maybe some better things out here to take a look at. Oh, I wanted to look at Oxy. We talked about this one yesterday too. Anytime I see stocks testing lows on 50% volume, I can't help but think that it's time to buy. August 24th, $64.83, 10 million shares into that day. Yesterday, we had 4.3 million shares. Even the day before, 3.9 million shares as you approached it. We did break that low, and we're back into the trading range. Not a lot of volume today, 3 million shares, 3.1 million shares so far. But certainly, or normally, let me put it this way, I will give a stock like this 3 days to start seeing a volume pick back up to the upside. What else do we have in our limited time? Oh, now this is the one that really amazed me, because talk about a stock that has had some bad press and a bad hair day. Qualcomm has been nothing but down, $52.59 on that August 24th low. And we had 29 million shares, 13 million shares into it yesterday. You just keep above $52.59 and 13 million shares yesterday, 7 million shares today. It needs to stay above that. So you've got kind of your back to the wall. You wouldn't like to see any more volume or downside out here. But certainly not a lot of volume as we hug these lows. Going into a weekend. Like I said, as soon as you think you're down and out, now we're almost flat on the S&Ps now. Volume 2.45 million shares, or billion shares, so not a lot. Anyway, we'll see you in the 4 o'clock hour with Tom O'Brien, talking technology. Got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about this week. And see you, same bat channel, same bat time on Monday.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.